Hey folks, it's Ben. We're here with another awesome video. This is for Red Barn Homestead. We have an, you could say it.
A Creality Ender 3 3D printer.
Right. So we have one of those in this box here. We acquired it from Amazon, and we also got some spools of product over there for it as well. Muscles the cat's going to try to help us out a little bit, aren't you, Muscles? I know, she says she's running away. So let's open up this thing because we are excited to use it, and you can imagine there's going to be a bunch of videos on the channel in regards to it once we figure out how to run it and software and designing things and all the fun stuff that goes with 3D printing. So in our Amazon box, we've got paper for the cat. You got Muscles. And another box. So in here we have, it's an Ender 3 Pro. Foreign made unit, like European or whatever. Wherever China is. That's gonna get some comments.
Yeah.
Here's the real box opening. Got a cable hanging out right there. Now my understanding is that this is a kit you need to build. Yep, totally is. Okay, so black foam, that's interesting. So on top we have the owner's manual, reader's manual, something like that, which we'll absolutely look at. This looks like it's really attached. This does not. So let's get some stuff out of the box here. We got some rails. Looks like we have a screen. That's a separate piece. That's a stepper motor there. Is that part of that? I don't know. We've got the bed component with another motor. Can you grab that? Yeah, sit over here. Sit that down like that for now. We have the head assembly, it looks like. I think this is the power pack.
It's very seriously packed. Like,
Yeah, it's very interweaved.
well, none of it's gonna move.
Oh, do we have to provide that power cable? I wonder. So that's it for this level. There's another level. So we've got this level, which is now completely empty. So let's put that with cats. You don't know there's a cat. Oh, geez, there's two cats now. How many cats do we own? Anyway, visit 5 Alberta Cats for more on that. And then we have all the consumables, or bits and pieces,
Small
I should
pieces,
say.
yeah.
Paint scraper.
Spatula. Mm-hmm.
Oh, a nice piece from my telescope. Thanks for looking into my mind. There's a power cord and a wheel assembly. Another motor assembly. Another set of beams. And that should be it for this box. This might be base. So this looks like our base assembly. So this is the bottom, and we can get this out of here. It says use 15 and 16 and 4 of these M5 by 45s. I always appreciate it when they have actual size on the drawing, because then you can just hold it up. But these are the only long ones that it uses, so we'll go with that. There are 5.
There's some more. That's all out now.
Cool. And I think And they show a side view, but they don't show the front view. Are these just, okay. So which ones are they?
So you have two that are square and two that are
Not square, and one that's this thing.
not rod, yeah. These are these ones, I think, 15 and 16, because see how they have two ridges, and this one only has one.
Okay. It's again not to scale, right?
Really not to scale.
But these have.
And if you look in the picture of it all put together, those are the sides.
Okay. Right. Now these are not drilled the same, so left and right is important. There's two holes on this one.
15 has holes, 16 has holes on the end.
Okay. So 16 is on the left and 15 is on the right, and this says longer. It has the two holes in it, but the space longer goes on top. Is that what I'm reading that to be?
Yep.
And it's shorter on the bottom for this guy here.
Yep.
And oh, I see. These cables are scary.
It does have a lot of cables that go here and hither and yon.
Yep. And I think they're just intertied. They might actually be loose or not. I don't know yet. Some rainbow connection. That's to that circuit board.
Which would be the screen.
That's to that. That's like that. Okay. So it looks like we're getting these. They sit on top and we screw from below. So the double hold one's on the left side where the bracketry is, so it would go here apparently.
Oh, I see. The bed moves for front and back, and the machine moves the extruder for up and down. Makes sense, I guess. Do you help?
Checking these for fit. He likes to bind up in that. Making sure I'm not cross-threading these. Must be drills anyway, that's why I don't bother talking. they attached, unfortunately? Yes, also.
No, I mean the filament bundles.
I just put them there to hold it up.
Okay.
Holes are on the inside. So in this guy, it's shorter on the bottom, bigger on the top, and the holes are towards the inside. So that's step one. Step two, we attach the screen and the power supply. The power supply is what uses these long bolts on the left side of the machine. I like calling things machines. I noticed I did that a lot in the vacuum ones. And it says to use two of the short little round-headed ones, which are these. So use two of those four. And then two of the M4x20s, which will be the smallest of the hex head units. Let's do these. There's only two of these. The M4x20. Hey, it's written on the bag. How about that? So the M4x20s go in the power supply, and these little guys, which if I hadn't thrown the bag away so quickly, I would probably know what they were. There's the M4x20s, and those are probably fine. Okay, cool. I'm guessing this just scoots out the passage. Should we bring the camera around for this stuff?
Sure. Quite compact.
Yes, it is. I'm trying to know where I put my knife. I'll put it there. It is a dragon. notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Subtle Minecraft reference.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
They don't say dragon, right? So they're not copyrightable, but.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna watch where you put that on magnetic bed. Did it just set itself down, or?
Yep.
But what I mean is where it rubs the power supply.
Oh yeah.
Be aware of that.
Yep. Well, it just wasn't attached, so we can.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying. No, it kind of has a place. It likes to be. Keep an eye on that. Okay, so now that's step 2. We got that on, and there's a switch right here in the front, so that's perfect. Next is step 3, which is part number 9, and they want it to go on the edge here. Part number 9 is this thing, apparently.
You can see that on the camera, just so you know. Hold it up.
So this is part number 9. It's got a little circuit board on it, actually, and a limit switch. So it's a feedback device, so careful with that. And according to this, it goes on the outside, and you need to make these little rail guys, make sure that they are flat in the flat up here, right? So they want to keep their ears outward, back and forth. So, are they 45 too? Yes, they are. So we should be able just to loosen this, and this tab, its location is important. It needs to rest on this. So we're actually just setting it down, I believe, from the top. I'm gonna back them up a little more. Just like so. Step number 4. Now we're getting a little more complicated. We have our motor here, it looks like, with our coupling requirement for this guy, and 2 of the M418Ps. That's this guy, M418Ps, written on the bag. And what we were doing is we were actually going to be, they're crafty in their switch around, so we have, it's actually going on the back of this arm. Looks like we've got 2 holes for it here. Too big. Too small.
You gave noisy, crunchy paper to the cat.
That's phase 1. Phase 2 is number 2, which is this rod, which is just a rod. There's no flat indexes or anything like that. That sets in. And that's as far as that step goes. Step 5. Is interesting. We're doing a sub-assembly now. So we have part 18. They're the same. Are these the same? You look at them. There's an 18 and a 19, but I'm not sure the difference.
No, one has
2 outer holes?
2 holes straight in.
Okay, that's this one that's 19.
And this one has 3 holes on each side.
3 holes on each side. That's right, just like so. So this is part number 18. That's in our step here. It says back, but we're not really referencing much at this point. And we need our extruder head here, number 6, which is the big guy, right? Yep. And we're using our M416s. M416s right here. 2 of those. And the nozzle. One of those guys.
There's a little switch on that too.
Yes, there is a switch, so be careful with that. And I'm just trying to figure out, is that the extruding nozzle? How are we look?
Yeah, it looks like it is. The little sticky outy bit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what we're doing here.
That one says spare parts. What part are you looking for?
I'm not looking for a part, I'm looking to see how this goes together. Like, this is this component as such.
Mm-hmm.
This says back, but that doesn't tell me a ton, except maybe it's this way. And I just don't know what the rail is doing at this point. Well, it can't be quite. I saw something with a fan assembly on it somewhere.
Nope.
Is it over there? Yeah, there's a fan on something.
Oh, this thing?
Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's the extruder.
Okay.
Yeah. You're looking at a different.
Well, this is the extruder down here. There's the fan assembly. I'm trying to figure out what am I doing here. Like that. Is that a stop?
Yeah, it does look like it. It's one of these.
Goes in here. So I could pick one.
No, that says spare parts.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that's what the piece should look like.
Like this really looks like the up and down portion. This goes in the rod. So we had our camera die on us there for a second, but we're back in business. So we take our beam here, part number 18, and it's got 3 little holes, bam, bam, and bam. And it actually, you want to set it in the rail, but don't. You actually push it against it, and there's a nut here that fits in the hole that they drilled, and then 2 connectors right there. And you can actually see that there's a hole there and there that lets you get your tool to tighten them in with. So that's like that. And then it mentions this brass thing with a little rubber bumper on it. But we have a bag called spare parts, which one exists in. So let's grab that out and we'll screw the little bumper in. I'm guessing that there's going to be a carriage that it hits and it'll bump against that stop instead of hitting anything. Yep. And it just screws in. And I think it's just a bumper. I think at this point. So that's step 5. Step 6. Keeping this assembly together, We have the unit with the fan facing away, well, with the fan facing away from this other component here. That looks like a motor, yeah. I'm guessing with cable sticking up.
Mhm.
This one, okay, there's another hole there for this nut there, and then these two go in, and they use the other M416s, and it attaches to the M416s, yeah.
Oh, those go up and down the rails.
Hmm.
That's why.
Okay, you want to send them back
It's
upstairs?
crazy. Okay, what are you doing? I'll go upstairs, okay? We're making a video down here. No, I won't. Go get upstairs for a bit. I'll call you when you can come down. Okay?
So that's step 6 is putting this arm on, and we put this on just for kicks. Okay. Step 7 is adding part 7, this part, to the other side. Did I put that motor on upside down? Let's find out. This is supposed to be like this.
That looks right. 2 rolls on the top.
Yep. Okay, cool. This guy, it's got the loosenable,
Show us what that looks like.
this is the part, and it has loosenable bits again that we slide into the rail. I can tell I'll be doing a lot of digital zooming on this video too. So you loosen them. Make sure they go in flush. And I want the wheel part to be on the inside or towards the railing. And I guess all the way in, as far as it rolls smoothly. That actually causes that wheel to do nothing. Actually, it's cool. Not sure what they're showing there. Just make sure they're flat.
Those 2 pictures look exactly the same.
Yep. Their little step 7 don't do look identical. So that's interesting. Next we have our flex coil. And we're going to be, I see, wrapping around this motor. Along the rails, and it's got 2 plugs, and it doesn't actually say where to plug them. Oh, I see. It on either side of the, I gotcha. There's little hooks on the bottom of the head here. So we will loop it through and then loop the ends through that is what I'm guessing.
It's a lot longer band than it looked.
And there's a grooved motor on this end, so, or a tooth gear assembly.
Can't see that.
Might be easier to go the other way. Come out.
There's a lot of putting together to this.
I knew there would be.
Yeah, we did. But... So does that go under or over that? The wheels? Does it go through the track?
Yeah, it might. Yeah, it does go through the track. Maybe. Sure why it goes through one fine and not the other.
Figured. So where does it clip on?
There's 2 slots, like so.
Oh, okay. I see.
So with that, we ran it in the track, so it's under the wheels and around this pulley here, which allows us, if this belt gets too loose, you can tighten it or not. I just kind of picked the tightness and seems to work. And then it goes around the cog of the motor here, so you have the cogs on the inside of the beam, and then there are 2 notches, like I said, that it clicks into. So that's the belt assembly. Step 9, something about do not tighten. And it looks like we're putting this onto this. Don't tighten it too tight. Whatever that means.
Something's got to go on that rod. Looks like that's that rod.
Yeah, and that's the hole for the rod.
This?
Yeah. So we have our assembly as such.
A lot of tangly cables.
But which way is up or down?
This is the extruder, so this is down.
Okay. So
and that bit's got to go on the rod, so that bit's got to be towards us.
yep. I'm just wondering towards it, so the extruder's towards the screen side, like so. Like such. And then this mechanism is above that mechanism, so that is right. And that says to don't tighten, but we're not actually putting it on.
Well, it looks like something. There's 2 bolts.
Yep, we're not putting them on.
Here.
And what?
Nothing. I'm paying attention. I see now. I was gonna say your thing is out of the hole at the bottom, but
Yep. It's a fairly tight fit. Oh, there we go. So this next step was to just take our assembly big extruder in the front pointed down, and put our threaded rod, which isn't attached here yet. I noted they didn't do that, and that's why. That lets us freewheel this essentially up or down. So that's that. So good?
Yeah.
So that's step 9, and the 2 bolts that say don't tighten too tight were already assembled, so we don't even touch those. Step 10, we're putting the bridge across the top apparently. So we have 4 of the M525s. And they give us 5, which is confusing because I'm like, oh, well, we got too many, but we're actually okay.
I'll just give you extras.
They give me extras in case I drop one on the floor. And then the 2 caps will also go on the end here. So that's what this little bar is for. And it's got notches on top for the head, so the bolts. So this is the top part and that's the bottom. Doesn't actually tell you where the
Cable's
supposed to go, but I'm guessing it's above.
In none of the photos is there actually a cable.
Yeah. So as such, yeah, I don't know.
Hang on, let me look it up. No, not over the top.
Not the top?
No,
Under.
under. I would worry that if you put it over the top, it would get too short when it goes all the way down to the, right?
Sure. So kind of looking at it, we're going to put the tubing and wiring under this bar.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes sense because it's usually going to operate down here. I don't know how high it will operate. And then we will screw these in.
Yeah, see, there's a picture.
Yep. This is not the wrench you're looking for.
And I've seen one of the things people first 3D print is a different type of spool holder
Okay.
compared to the one that's with the kit.
Okay. What?
I'm just wondering where that spool holder goes. I'm looking at it.
Where is it?
It's right there. It's that black flat thing. The hole in it.
Okay.
And the other thing is the handle looking thing.
Oh, the pole.
Yep.
I see. Am I even in frame?
Kinda. Just at the very tippy top of the frame. Honey.
Yeah, it doesn't move well.
No, I can't get it done, dude.
So the crossbar is now on. Now we need the 2 end caps, which were also in a little baggie, weren't they?
Yep,
They
they're
were
right
here.
there.
The other step was to, or piece of this was to add the little end cap. Looks like they go like such.
It's a nice little touch.
So those press in like that. So those pieces are complete. Step 11 is our spool holder. So it's this guy. Looks like they're supposed to give us these little pieces that fit in the rail. They put this one in before or after the cap step, but I guess those bolts get in the way. And what am I using for 2 pieces of the M5x8s, which are these little guys. And our fan assembly is pointing front, and this is pointing back. Like so. Put these little wedges in and turn them. And we have a arc facing towards the back of the machine, so the screw in. This sounds like it's going to be fun. Doesn't really say how far over to put it, so we'll just put it a bunch over and like that. And then our circular spool piece. It's not a threaded device, it's just a turn and release. Like so. Step 12. We plug in everything apparently. Are we that close to being done? Looks like we are probably pretty done. So now we have all our connectors. And zip ties for cable management, it looks like. And we do have a bunch of extra screws. I wonder what the wrenches are for. And there's the leveling of the table. Okay, so let's have some fun with this. Are they actually labeled on the ends of the cables, please? They are. Neat. So looking at the side of the machine, you have a large bundle of wires that comes out of the base circuit board there. So I'm going to push the power on this side because that's where that goes. Looks like the bed's already attached, so that's good news. We have what goes up to the nozzle, which is already done, so that's great too. So we're just mostly, I think, connecting these sensors up. So we have E to the cross the up and down motor here. And it's made so to only plug in one way. And I'm guessing that then it'll be X to the switch, it's over here. So there is an X, this little one here. bolts in like so. Okay, and we have one left, and I'm guessing it's to the motor here. And this is also X, but bigger. So these guys ride together. This one doesn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, they all go together, so they're all one buddy. There is a Z cable.
There's two right there.
Oh, they're right down here. They come straight out. Actually, it's just this one. It plugs into this motor here, which shouldn't move.
There's another little one unplugged right behind it. See it?
Yeah, and there's another one that comes out here, but it actually comes out on the front, and that plugs into our limit switch here, and it plugs up. This one's a little tough to see the correct orientation of the plug. But it is also made so it only plugs in one way. On this side we have our screen, which is EXP3. And I'm not sure what they're telling me to do here.
What does EXP3 look like?
It might be our extruder head. What's on the back side? Oh, I see. It's got a clutch. That's what that is, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Not sure what that is.
Maybe an adjustment.
So my thought is that the rainbow cable probably doesn't need to go all the way back, but actually just comes over here and plugs in. Let's take our little screen off. Are there any, and the power supply. Hard to miss these. They're big and they're yellow. They only plug in one way. With that, we're out of cables to plug in, so I'm not sure what the other thing is or not. Looks like this could hold on to something. Does this hold on to the cabling?
I don't know.
It's got a little gripper arm for something.
I'm just wondering what this is. There's like a...
There's a switch on the back of the power supply that you can switch between 230 volts and 115, which is what we are here in North America. So make sure that's on the 115 setting.
There's just like a little thing here. That's this. Something's supposed to plug into here. That plugs into there. That's what that is.
Okay.
That's a one-way fitting. Right?
No.
Should push in and click. And then
No.
to get it out, you
Oh,
have
okay.
to
Yep.
you have to push the collar in to get it out.
So we put the little nozzle here clicked into this.
Because the filament goes through that.
Oh, I see. It's a filament feeder. Ah, and it goes in and into the head.
Right.
Gotcha. So that makes that sense. All the sense in the world. So that's step 12. That's the last step. It says this guide, select the right voltage. Because of differences that may not be listed in this guide, Plug it into a 3-hole jack, and machine is equipped with surgery protection mechanism. Do not manually move the nozzle and printing platform mechanism manually while booting up. The only question I have then is down here, we never tightened the rod. Is that what this is referring to? Do not tighten too much?
Maybe. The rod in the hole?
No, it's clearly that.
Those red bolts.
Yeah. Seems like maybe I just give them a little bit of snug so they're friends forever.
Oh, I see the bottom, yeah, so it doesn't undo
Yeah.
while it's moving.
This one should be tight because it's on the motor, yeah. And then, didn't mention this, but we're going to tighten the rod here, just the clip on it, so that it moves. Because it's probably a stepper motor too, so it's going to assume it knows where it goes. It's got to be linked together tight. Didn't see that in the instructions. Anything else we need to do?
When did we?
There's a scan code and after sales service card, and I think that's that. So let's give it a power up. Better yet, let's call this an assembly video, and then we'll see first start. So if you guys have any questions on the assembly of this, it's very interesting. I thought these wheels had more to do with left and right, but they don't. The nozzle goes back and forth, but the visor go up and down. You're essentially building a square aluminum or rectangular aluminum frame. We have a limit switch that's going to stop its downward movement, and we have a limit switch over here. My guess is that it actually brings itself over here, hits the switch, and then that tells it how far away it is from things. So it will come down and over, go click, click, and then it'll know exactly where the head is, because these are, the motors know by, they have a reference as to how far they go when they move. So that's the assumption on that as well. The rubber band is in. That's cool. If you have any comments, leave them. We're going to hopefully be doing a lot of videos on this, so that will be interesting. It looks like this moves back and forth with that motor there, which was already plugged in. It's a little tight on the side here, but actually doesn't touch it, so that's cool. So we're going to get into the operations of this thing on the next video, but this is the assembly. Our spool of material is going to go here and probably go into that little head that way. So with that, if you have any questions, we've also got a little thumb drive, some material. Once we get along, we've got these black zip ties and a nozzle cleaner and a clip, I'm guessing, to clip that for whatever reason. But with that, we'll see you next time. Hey folks, it's Ben. If you're coming from the construction video, congratulations, you've constructed your unit. If you just want to see how this thing fires up for the first time by novices, wow, this is the show for you. So we're going to plug it in, and of course it's not on, so that's handy. And let me grab the camera. This is, I'm sure, as awesome as this is. So we're on, and we're going to bring it over here. Press the on button and hope it works. Little fanage, little boot up screen. Okay. That was interesting. Has an input knob. Press? Yes it is. Neat. I don't know much about the, I guess we set the types of plastics. This would have all the default settings in it. That was the info screen I was on. Auto home. I'm guessing it's going to hit that switch there. There's a switch there, and it's going to go down all the way and hit that switch. That's the loud.
Yeah, really obnoxious noise.
Oh, it's got two fans? Nope. It's 2 fans, but that one's not running. That might be temperature driven. Okay, so I guess that's home for it. That'd be this corner of the bed. That's all we know at the moment. We're gonna get something basic, do a little reading, and we will get back to you.